they are all looking for excuses. I wouldn't call it a justification, I would call it an excuse. There is never a good time to attack innocent people. You're not making anybody's situation in the Middle East or anywhere around the world better by going and attacking innocent people. Not even a single person in Gaza was fed because a Jew was attacked on the street of Montreal. It doesn't do any good.
Lavoie here in Montreal at Dickey Moore Park, where the brutal attack on a father in front of his 3 children took place.
That's why.
The video of the assault went viral, and several politicians, including the Premier of Quebec, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, and Mark Carney, condemned this violent attack. While statements have poured in, concrete actions to address the rise of anti-Semitic crimes in Montreal remain absent. It's worth noting that while Pierre Poilievre reacted quickly to this attack, Mark Carney initially chose to wish everyone a happy International Cat Day before commenting on the matter only the following day. Montreal's woke mayor, Valérie Plante, also issued a public statement despite her inaction in the face of the growing insecurity experienced by the Jewish community since the Hamas atrocities against Israel on October 7, 2023. Today, we learned that a man has been arrested by the SPVM, the Montreal police. We are following this investigation very closely. We are now speaking with the victim's brother-in-law, Zevi, who will recount the incident and describe the impact this attack has had on both the victim and his children. So Zevi, you are the brother-in-law of the victim, and you say that you know a little bit the story, and I want you to explain to the people because we saw the video, but we don't see what happened before.
So what you guys see, that's pretty much a story, but what led up to it is my brother-in-law took out his kids, his family. He wanted to be a good dad, help Friday afternoon. He came to this very park where we are right now, and they just enjoyed themselves, didn't disturb anybody. Someone came up to him and poured on him a bottle of water. Before he could respond, ask anything, why are you doing it, he started to beat him up in front of his kids.
Can you tell us what is the consequences, like the damages, the physical damages and psychological damages that the kids and your brother-in-law suffered?
The physical damages, he suffered a broken nose, and he still has some pain in his face and forehead. Psychological, obviously, 2 things we don't know right away, and I want to keep the privacy of the family, but let's just all imagine what happens to a kid when this happens in front of them. Their dad is being beaten up for no reason, and we can all use our imagination how this might affect them in the future. The police was called and they didn't show up for some time, and they called again, and the police basically claim because the suspect is no longer on scene, it's not, quote, an emergency. They showed up, what I was told is approximately an hour after the incident first took place. They didn't do much, to be honest. They just treated it as if just just 2 people were fighting. That's the way they treated it. Nothing with Jews, nothing like with hate or anything. Only after the story went viral and the pressure was on them, it couldn't be ignored anymore.
Mm-hmm. And so I heard that there is some Jewish people who try to locate the man, and finally today we heard that someone got arrested.
Yes, so we took matters into our own hands in some way. We have a local, let's say, patrol group. Myself, we all went around the area to look for the suspect. We had a picture, and he was located at this very park. That person came back to the crime scene, and he was located, and they followed him, and ultimately, first they just detained him and let him go, but then an hour later or so, they confirmed that he was arrested.
So the video went really viral, and we saw that multiple politicians reacted to it. Lots of words, but not that much action to fight against the anti-Semitic crimes that we are seeing in Montreal since October 7, 2023. How did you react to see all those politicians coming out with like good words for the victim, but not doing anything concrete?
Look, politicians are politicians. That's the reality. But the saddest part is some of them didn't even call it anti-Semitic. Just assault on a Jewish father in front of his kids. Call it by what it is. This is hate crime. He wasn't targeted because he started a fight. The attacker didn't pick on anybody else. I mean, this is a pretty busy street. He didn't walk up to anybody, just to a father with his kids. And then after the attack, he threw the kippah in the water. So it can't be anti-Semitic, right? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Why should it be? But, I mean, just not to call it anti-Semitism when it clearly is that itself is shocking. But again, we appreciate all the kind words, but we need action because it's only getting worse. And look at the other cities, you know, what happened. Montreal until now was a very good place for us to live, and we want to keep it that way. But we need a lot more help, and this has to be taken a lot more serious.
How did you find the Montreal mayor response to the rise of anti-Semitism here in Montreal?
Nothing substantial, just words and words and words. I wouldn't say anything substantial. It should have been a lot more. Make a bigger police presence, do whatever has to be done. Maybe, you know, increase the amount of prison time someone can spend for anti-Semitic attacks. There should be consequences because guess what? People are afraid of consequences. And if there's no consequences, this is what happens. I would say the climate here invited this attack to happen.
How the Jewish community are feeling right now to see what happened?
The Jewish community, we feel, I mean, attack on one is like an attack on all. And it's not, again, I will say it again, he didn't pick a fight. He was attacked for being Jewish. So every Jewish person feels the same way.
Would you ever expect to see again this amount of anti-Semitism in the Western world?
No. I mean, I myself, my grandparents survived the Holocaust, and we always, when we heard stories, we always thought and we hoped, but legitimately, in a certain sense, we thought this is only history, and people learned the, lessons of history. Apparently, that is not so, and especially the governments. Some governments are kind of tolerating it or not doing too much about it. But I did not expect this should happen. But this is unfortunately right now the reality.
You just shared with us a trouble incident just before you arrived in this park for having this interview. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Sure. So I was crossing the street. I parked that side of the street. I crossed over to the park to have this interview, and someone opened his car window and started yelling, "Free Palestine." So let's just think, why did he do it, right? I mean, the street was full of people. He didn't stop a Chinese person to yell it. Why at me? Do I wear any political symbols, any Israeli flag or something? I don't. I just go dressed like a Jew. So let's make something clear. When they say, "Oh, we just hate the government of Israel, but we have no problem with the Jewish people," excuse my French, that is bullshit. Why did he yell it on me? Because I look Jewish, okay? And the same thing goes, the same reason he yelled "Free Palestine" on me, that's the same reason my brother-in-law was attacked, and the same reason all of this is happening. Nothing to do with Israel. I am a Canadian citizen, and I have got no close family even fighting in Gaza. Why did he yell it at me? Because I'm Jewish. So this should be just clear. I'm just a part of a statistic, but this has to stop. and we are not going to tolerate it. They are all looking for excuses. I wouldn't call it a justification, I would call it an excuse. There is never a good time to attack innocent people. You're not making anybody's situation in the Middle East or anybody or anywhere around the world better by going and attacking innocent people. Not even a single person in Gaza was fed because a Jew was attacked on the street of Montreal. It doesn't do any good for anybody. So that's pretty much all I have to say. It has to stop. Stop targeting innocent people, and stop pretending to be the victim while you're the aggressor.
Just as we finished this interview, the SPVM, the Montreal police, issued a statement announcing the arrest of a 24-year-old suspect, while they are stating that they worked hard to locate him. The main effort was carried out collectively by the Jewish community. At Rebel News, we believe that if someone is here in Canada, is not a Canadian citizen, and is out on the street calling for the death of Jews, or calling for intifada and committing crimes or vandalism, this person should be deported back in their country. So if you agree with us, go and sign our petition at deportamos.com right now.